Welcome, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer1745 here, and this is the real start of the French Follies 2, my playthrough of Hearts of Iron 4 La Résistance with the Black Ice mod, and we are playing as France, and we're going to look at the follies of France. Because France could have defeated Germany both at multiple points during the history, as well as in 1940 when we see the the actual sort of invasion of France. We're going to start here and look at I guess we're going to start with doing the R35, research that in the tank. I do like the way they've sort of developed these companies because you can't overly specialize and push ahead too fast or too concentrated on things, like I have a tendency to do. Now, I don't know what I should do for ships. What models of ships should I? It looks like we've got a lot of our stuff. Okay, well, improved. France doesn't need a carrier, though, because we're not really going to... And this series here, we're going to look at, can we hold France? Or either, can we defend France? So I'm not worried about the Pacific. Maybe... stay on for the Free French if there's enough interest, but quite honestly, I doubt there will be. Okay, mine warfare. We'll do mine warfare. Better landing craft. Yeah, hi USA man. I did see that, but where would I use it? Maybe for invading Italy or something? I don't know. I'm really trying to... I did see that. That is not a bad choice, but... indefinite, if I was playing Germany or Britain or something, that is more where I would look to. Okay, so, and I do not know French air well at all. I mean, I've heard of some of these aircraft and, names, and like now the Martin, that's an American design. And Hawk, I don't know, is that British? But yeah, those are all way too early or way too later for us. Guess we'll start with this. Now over here, all the 36s are done here. We could do Combat Engineering Company. Don't have radios yet. We could do Motorized Command. That would be useful for France. Infantry guns and uniforms. I don't know if we want to produce infantry guns, and well, we could do field uniforms. Okay, all-purpose slots. Well, let's... Oh, they're way behind even Germany here. Okay, basic machine tools. Yeah, I agree with Lum. I often agree with Lum, but often disagree with him too. But I agree that all the major nations, European, should start with basic machine tools. That should be something for like Iran and Iraq and Afghanistan to need to start researching. Do we want to produce? Yeah, let's do this. Research speed, get things going. Yeah, they got some good ships. Toy jet, France does. Either subs or CA type vessels. Yeah, let's look at our de Gaulle strategy, Girard plan, naval construction, expand a new air force, social reforms, tools, modernization, 2 times bonus, colonial investment. Now, some of these colonial investments, especially like Algeria, that will help us directly. Rearmament, economic reforms, social reforms. We'll need to be looking at some of those. I guess we will do tools modernization. Hey, Exurgent. Yep, long time haven't we known each other. How long are you live? I'm going to live streaming approximately 4 hours, and we're approximately an hour into it, so approximately 3 more hours. Okay, so well, let's look quickly here. We need more anti-tank, more horse transports. Okay, so presumably we need more military factories. So let's find, well, some areas that are mildly well developed that we can put in some factory production. I think that will be it for the moment until we get more stuff organized. Now let's also move up. Okay. Let's see. Let's stop the clock here. And let's create a motorized armored command here. Okay. Let's find a leader for it. De Gaulle will look good at this, but don't see De Gaulle on the list here. Oh, there's De Gaulle. But I don't know why he's only 3, and this other guy, Alphonse Jeune. Okay, don't know him, but we will go with him. Now let's create an army group here and get a field marshal. Okay, Weygand, I've heard of him. Gamelin, I've heard of him. And Alphonse Georges, yes, I've heard of him a bit. But, Old Guard, Defensive Doctrine, Career Officer. Old Guard, they're both Old Guard, which has problems. Promotion costs less, we don't care about that. So we're going to go Weygand. Okay, so now we're going to come over here. We're going to select all. And we're going to rush them. You can stay right where you are. Now, I haven't looked at these templates. Well, maybe I did quickly. Okay, that's a pretty good template. Mechanized forces. Okay-ish template, I guess. Now, we won't look too carefully at the equipment. Now here, yeah, they're not even fully filled up with theirs. Okay, so let's create a defensive wall force here. Maginot Line, but with division. Trickster. Yeah, defensive doctrine. That looks good for that. Oh, let's. God, I hate this color. I don't know why it's the color that they pop up in the first. Let's go with sort of yellow for cavalry. You can join this force. And you could join this force as well. Has anybody figured out what I'm trying to do yet? Okay, now for another
Aux ordres.
Force here. What do these, I guess, semi-motorized, yeah, faster than...
Attention.
You need to go there. You'll be the, I guess, final unit there. Oh, Scooter's going. Oh, sorry to hear you're going. Not looking up at the chat, Scooter. Enough. Yeah, you come to.
Bougez-vous.
So has anybody figured out what I'm working to do?
Aux ordres. Gardez vos rangs. Écoutez. Aux ordres.
Okay, Trickster, Panzer, but we don't have any Panzers in this unit. Turkey's about to die. Good for you. Commando. Offensive Doctrine. You just may get the Logistical Wizard. No, I think we're going to go with you. Select all.
Bougez-vous.
Into here, I don't know the infantry color for France, but let's go with blue. The old blue trousers that they used to wear. There we go. Now, yeah, let's
Écoutez.
grab these. Create this force here. Do we have a particular mountain leader, or will we use Anton? We'll call him Anton here. I don't unless I've heard how to pronounce some of these French names. Fortress Buster. That's an interesting option for what I'm thinking of. Yeah, Fortress Buster. There we go. He's going to get that because he's going to watch the Italian front here.
Écoutez.
I guess we will have him. Okay.
Attention. Aux ordres.
He's full up. Watch.
Gardez vos
Say
rangs.
the Italian front. So we need to have some other forces here, but. We'll go green.
Bougez-vous.
Whether we go offensive against the Italians, I'm not sure. We're
Bougez-vous.
definitely looking at either offensive or defensive hill operations.
Paré.
You
Aux ordres.
VSSC.
Bougez-vous.
Well, sort of, Toy Jet. What I'm looking at possibly doing here is,
Attention.
is if we have the opportunity to oppose the French forces or the German forces occupying the Rhineland, we're going to take it.
Paré.
Okay, yeah, I guess we'll put you here. I know you're motorized, but we're filled up that division. And we'll just to get the bonuses for having command. Let's put all these and somebody else's. Yeah, it could just be that. And let's create a new hire because we have 2 more field marshals. There we go. So we're going to see if we can start the war early. And see how that does. Now we'll make a save before doing that. Let's make a save right now. How to play dismiss alerts on videos. Okay. Spain joined the Germans, and I'm in the German faction, but not in war, so I can... Oh, very good. Now, are you playing Black Ice LP or just standard or some other mod? Vanilla, okay.
Gardez vos rangs. Écoutez. Aux ordres.
Oh, so
Gardez vos rangs.
make sure these are on trains because we want them there fast.
Aux ordres.
You can hang out here with...
Bougez-vous.
Well, USA man, we will try that out. That very well may be the case. Civil War. I don't know why it would have created a civil war. Not saying it wouldn't, I just don't know why it would have. Okay, we're using up some of our fuel moving here, but let's see if we can import some fuel. Do we have a colony that we can get it cheaply from? French Indochina? No, just 6. Okay. Let's get it from the US. Man, that's going to be painful, but I want more fuel reserves instead of being...
Attention.
Kingdom of Italy abandons the naval treaty. Don't know why them abandoning the naval treaty hurts our political power levels so much. I don't get all of that.
Attention.
You come here. I really meant to have this go via train, but whatever.
Arrêt. Bougez-vous.
I know that's why we're using so much fuel, but still.
Gardez vos rangs. Bougez-vous.
Okay, Toy Jet. Yeah, that. The communists, because they were very much a puppet of the Soviet Union, the Hoare-Laval Pact. The press has unveiled the Hoare-Laval Pact to the public eye, which is being conducted behind their backs. France and Britain, eager to stay in good graces with Italy, have been negotiating a deal with Mussolini for a quick conclusion to the Second Italiano-Abyssinian War with Ethiopian concessions. This is in hopes of maintaining the nation's independence, but it has been done without their knowledge. It has caused an uproar from both the right and the left, announcing it as appeasement to Mussolini that would leave Ethiopia little more than a puppet state. Albert Sarrat will lead until the elections. Okay. But this is Pierre Laval. And Hoare, Michael Hoare? No, that's the English guy. I know very little about this, but you have to remember, one of the main alliance groups in Europe at the beginning of 1935 is the, and it's not, I guess, enough formality for Hearts of Iron to think it to be an alliance or faction here, but is Britain, France, and Italy. Even though Italy had gone fascist, they were very much in alliance. And it's more or less left over from World War One, but I would say very much still active. And it's already to some degree weakening enough that Italy puts together the Three Powers Pact with Italy, Austria, and Hungary. Those are the three powers in an anti-Hitler alliance, anti-Hitler German alliance, because I guess Italy is not all that comfortable that France will come into war against Germany if Germany is threatening Italy, and by threatening Italy, because of Hitler's rhetoric and places like in Tyrol and Trieste, especially Tyrol, he's worried about Germany wanting former Austrian territories back, as well as simply just being another major power on his northern flank that is hostile. And so he sees fascist, and it is fascist, the Fatherland Front is a fascist party, in Austria as a ally and a buffer state. Meaning, so if they, the idea is that if they attack Austria, they've got to come through. There's the pass through Innsbruck, the Brenner Pass, but that's something that can be very well defended. A lot of the hills that were, the mountains, I should say, that were fought over in World War One are now in Italian possession, and the Italians believe that they can hold, somewhere along here fairly damn well. So they want to move up and hold this sort of area. If Austria is attacked, can they hold Vienna against Germany? Well, if it's a 100,000-man army, yeah, hell yeah, especially if Hungary is marching to, support on this side. So this is all set up as an anti-Hitler alliance. And of course, this gets eroded by Mussolini declaring war on Ethiopia and invading, and the British and the French, as Mussolini sees it, stabbing him in the back in the League of Nations and and there currently is, historically, an embargo against Italy for all League of Nations, all the members of the League of Nations, from not exporting anything to Italy, and probably also not buying stuff, but definitely not exporting. So I should not be able to trade with Italy except for oil. Italy can buy oil. That is probably the one thing that would have got Mussolini to back down. But they definitely are trying to put significant military pressure, economic, political pressure on Mussolini, and Mussolini sees this as a problem. And so Mussolini starts to, this is what pushes Mussolini into the Hitler camp, but this Hoare-Laval Pact is trying to, carve off very big chunks of Ethiopia to give to the Italians and leave a rump state that is nominally independent. I don't know, but definitely allows, shall we say, economic penetration in by Italy. But I don't think the Ethiopians would have accepted it. I think they'd rather go down fighting than accept it. Thanks, Arno. Hello, Eric Rosa. How you doing? I wish, yeah. Okay, and so that was already ongoing because the Italian invasion starts in 1935. So we now have Albert Sarratt, liberal. Well, very good. You're doing all right. And so, like I was saying, it's trying to appease Mussolini, the Hoare-Laval Pact, while trying to still keep, this is, 35, 36, early 36, while still trying to keep Mussolini in a roughly anti-Hitler, anti-Bolshevik alliance. Okay, keep losing these 50 power. I don't... Good games. My Winter Olympics events were better. Build buildings indeed. Okay, tools, modernization, field uniforms. Tools, modernization. Okay, now we could do French National Railway Company. Okay, there's one of the following. We could do colonial investments. Maximum infrastructure. Loss less. That's pretty good. Get supplies out there. I'm not deciding that just yet. Atlantic Pacific protection. Well, where are the air bases? Oh, Madagascar and wherever. Nice for later on, maybe, but not. Colonial investment. Building sites. Aleppo, Damascus, Lebanon, Morocco. I do want to develop Algeria, though. Decrease unemployment. Lots of civilian factories. Well, we need the railway company to do that, so let's do that because we want to decrease unemployment. We would love some more research. Build more cruisers. Well, we'll look at the Navy in just a moment here. Okay. We've got better uniforms. It still says we're using the Shoshat. Machine guns. They really weren't, I don't think, by this time. Maybe they were. Yeah, Lum's right. They shouldn't be using these things, but... Just motorize the commands. That's a reasonable thing to do. Now, our naval building production. Right now, I'm willing to keep obsolete stuff in production just to simply get it completed. Let's do this. Just as any of these complete. Oh, that looks like it would complete August. Yeah, let's move you further up to the top. Make sure you're get the submarines produced. Well, those are almost completed there. Okay. Let's do a little management here. That is okay. Get it up to the top here. Get it completed out. This way, when one of these submarines get completed, it immediately roll in the production yards to get it fast completed. So I'm just looking at how much they're already, you know, the submarines are already completed. Do we have the Sukruf? We'll check that in a moment. One of the coolest submarines of the period. A lot of these. Come on. We'll get some of the better ones. Okay, then we'll leave that one down at the bottom. It takes so long to get completed, and I do want to get some of these. Tiny better heavy cruiser when you get points for it. Yeah, we will see about some of that. I want to look at our Navy. Okay. Oh, we do have the Sukruf. Let's see. Max range. Yeah, you can see here. Can't really see on the image here. See, light attack, light piercing. Almost double the light attack and way more piercing because the Sukruf has huge naval guns on it. It's a huge submarine, one of the biggest submarines of the whole period. And it also, yeah, you really can't tell. It also has, I use the same photo here, also has an aircraft that you have to, in a hangar, you have to take out and then assemble. You have to put the wings on it. It looks sort of like a World War I type aircraft. Mono wing, but just sort of wood and canvas and whatnot. It's not an attack. It's just an observation aircraft. But it's a giant submarine. Let's look at our Naval Commands. Okay, this fleet. Admiral Sud. Darlan, well, he was basically the head of the French Navy, at least by the end of operations in World War One, or World War Two. You know, the signing of the treaty there. Admiral Nord. Where are you, Admiral? Pas de Calais. Okay, this is this force up here. Guess I don't care about you. We have a carrier. Admiral Afrique. Battleships. Superior tactician, that looks like a good option. Let's move you to here. There we we go. We're going to leave the North Sea to the British. Inflation. Unlock the economic tree. In 1936, France recovers slowly from an economic crisis that hurt the country in 1931. The unstable political situation, the high amount of unemployment, and the public deficit are already challenging for the government. Unfortunately, the fast inflation caused a franc overestimate. I don't know. It provokes an economic crisis, and 2/3 of exports collapse. With the general capital evasion and resistance of some employers, the situation is alarming, and disillusionment of workers, of the worker class for politics is already huge. Okay, so we gain the spirit inflation, which grants us political power costs minus 0.6%, all building construction speed down 15%, resources to market plus 15%, daily opposition. Okay, so yeah, things aren't looking good for us. Now this is remilitarization of the Rhineland. Okay, Rhineland safe. Okay, we are going to gain stability, change. This is an act of war, rally the British to our side. We are going to go to war. And why I say this is because I do want to come back and be able to try the other option. Britain refuses. Okay, France mobilizes. If war breaks out, we will suffer civil war due to our disjointed government. We're going to try this anyways. If war breaks out. Okay. So, very interesting. I'm liking this so far. After attempts by Germany to end the rules set by the Versailles Treaty and the remilitarization of the Rhineland, an ultimatum from France has forced them back down, despite Britain's refusing to intervene with French threats to mobilize. If Germany proceeds with the plan, it quickly became clear that any military intervention at all was unacceptable. I don't know. So Germany, they did not think Germany was not prepared to face France in an all-out war. As it stands, the Rhineland will remain demilitarized. I'm not speaking very well at the moment, am I? Or reading very well. As it stands, the Rhineland will remain a demilitarized zone dictated by the treaty unless Germany goes to war. France stands alone but strong. Okay. So, now this is an interesting thing. I was fully prepared to go to war just to sort of see what the hell, would happen as an experiment. But Germany backed down. And that is the historical situation. Germany, from everything that I've read or heard on documentaries, Hitler issued orders to the military commanders that were going into the Rhineland that if they saw any French military forces moving to oppose them, they were to retreat back out of the Rhineland and not even fire a shot at them. Try sort of like we sort of see this German garrison unit moving in and then, pulling back out. Because Hitler and the Germans were not ready for war with France, but France did nothing. Yes, you're right, USA man. So that was what happened, or would have happened, I believe, historically, had France. Tried that. French Indochina. Yes, we will get our rubber from French Indochina. And we have a massive political power. But I think having the Germans back down should be a political power gainer that would, you know, get us, you know, 150, not like make us super powerful, but make us back to near, you know, zero. Okay, well, Baton cross, promotion cost. Let's get a woman French spy. Seems like the thing to do. How should we use this, chat? How should we use our spy? Should we try to reduce spies? Should we send into, you know, should we root out resistance, control trade, diplomatic pressure, build an intel network, and if so, where, or just do counterintelligence? You guys have any idea? Because we could put around our empire a little bit. Out here, though, I don't see any. Try and get decryption from the Germans. Yes, that's definite. That was my first thought, but I didn't know if we wanted to do diplomatic pressure on, say, either the Belgians or the Dutch to try to join the Allies as a defensive measure, or if there was something creative more than just simply decryption from the Germans. Any ideas, chat? Go for the Belgians to try to get the Belgians in early. Let's see what we can do here. Okay, to apply diplomatic pressure on Belgium. Okay, well, we will see what we can do here. I am not good with knowing the ins and outs of spies, so I'm trying to learn some of that, how they can be used.
Gardez vos rangs. Bougez-vous. Bougez-vous. Gardez vos rangs.
You have division in Calais that you could. Yeah.
Attention.
I know he's up here. Okay. Italy's won its war. Italy takes Abyssinia. We could. Now, if we're going for a traditional 1940s war, having them down here would be a mistake. It would be better to have some more units up here. Events, decisions, timed out. Well, I don't have any political power for any of this stuff. In fact, I have negative political power. So what would have been the results of Hitler having to back down? Because I think that's clearly what would have happened. From all of my readings, I don't question the likelihood that that is the case, that Hitler would have backed down had France militarily moved to keep the Rhineland unmilitarized. And so right now, there will be no West Wall. There's going to be no German defenses there. So that will change things. Well, yeah, you have the river defenses and getting into place earlier with the Belgians, quite possibly. But also, if we can get them in our faction, we might see other uses as well for that. But so Hitler would have had to back down. Just incapable of fighting France at this time. Would that have brought down the Hitler regime? Okay, decrease unemployment, economic reforms, gain political power, no stability, military complex, nationalization, rearmament, world tension. Yeah, needs a lot more world tension. Franc devaluation requires economic reforms. Budget deficit law. I think that may be the way to go here. 63 days. Develop Morocco, develop Tunisia. Decrease unemployment. Well, we're going to do this first. Maybe Hitler would be focusing on the Soviets. Good thought, USA man. Oh yeah, more city factories. That's what we're going to do. Now, Hitler's, I would say, genuinely worried about the Soviets, and genuinely also wants to go in and conquer Soviet territory. But he can't. Well, if he has a demilitarized Rhineland, and if you don't know it right now, really also another, we talked earlier about the Three Powers Pact. I don't think it's maybe, well, I would say in game terms, and there was some sort of treaties or documents of understanding, but basically France and sort of Britain, but France is guaranteeing the independence of Czechoslovakia at this time period. So it's in some sort of an alliance. To the point that some of the sort of designers for the Maginot Line are over in Czechoslovakia developing the Czech border defenses. So they're close cooperating. So there's this, Franco-Czech alliance. And in the beginning of 1936 here, we could see that if France goes to war and you have Czechoslovakia, who has a fairly large nation here, has a dagger pointed right at the heart. It almost looks like a dagger pointed right at the heart of Germany. Now, they get outflanked once Austria goes German, but here it's, if you're going to have a vigorous offense from France, this is sort of defendable, okay? And so, yeah, Poland and Czechoslovakia don't have the best relations. In fact, Poland wants this province here. And Czechoslovakia doesn't want to give it up. And Czechoslovakia also has a bit of an informal alliance, more informal, with the Soviet Union. And Poland is unwilling to deal with anybody who's willing to deal with the Soviet Union because they fear them, especially like in 1936. Remember, Germany is sort of breaking the Versailles Treaty and going past the 100,000 man army at this point, but not by a huge number. So probably right now, from professional army units, being very careful in saying that, Poland has a stronger military than Germany does at this time. Now, if you throw in all the SA units, and they mostly had rifles to give to all the SA units, Germany can defend itself better than Poland can, because all those SA are going to become, sort of like what later happens with the Volkssturm, but a little more organized. They're going to be, a defensive force, and then you have the Veterans League that the Nazis have centralized. There had been a bunch of different veteran organizations that are also sort of a defensive militia unit of, former, trained soldiers. So it's not like Poland's able to conquer Germany, but at this point, again, in early 36, Poland's probably able to defend itself from Germany. So it's not that worried about it. It's more worried because they have had a war with the Soviet Union in 1920, with the Soviets trying to invade in the Battle of Moscow. So they're more worried about the Soviet Union than they are worried about Germany. Now, eventually it switches to be more worried about Germany than the Soviet Union. But so there's, the Czechs won't deal with the Poles because the Poles want part of Czechoslovakia. Poles won't deal with Czechoslovakia because they're dealing with the Soviet Union. But still, Hitler isn't going to get in boats and sail up to here and invade the Soviet Union from up here. So he's going to have to come across some of these territories, which probably means war with France. So just focusing on the Soviets wouldn't be a viable option. Does it sort of, prove Hitler weak? Meaning whether there's a military coup against him for his reckless behavior in trying to militarize the Rhineland, or does it mean that various political enemies, including enemies within the Nazi Party, might work against him? I don't know. I don't have a good answer. But it is definitely graphics pending, Second London Naval Treaty. Okay, election, communist in government. Communist movement in the French Republic, fueled by dissatisfaction among the working class and radical trends among academics, has grown large enough to lead to the formation of several parties. One of these has gained considerable support with the current elections. Politicians in Parti Radical have started debating whether or not to seek their support in forming a government, although they consider our democratic institutions to be little more than bourgeoisie tyranny. They seem eager to make changes they want to see through cooperating with governments rather than overthrowing it. Okay, well, by 1936, to the best of my knowledge, prove me wrong in chat or post below, but all communist parties around the world are basically controlled by Stalin. That's why you see non-communist parties, socialists, syndicalists, which is just another type of socialist, groups not controlled by the Soviet Union, but basically the communist parties around the world are controlled by the NKVD or the Cheka or whatever you want to call it. And so they are a Stalinist group. And so they promote the ends of Stalin, not social reform or whatever locally. Communism in France is very popular at this time. Relatively popular, yes. Socialists were also fairly popular. Okay, reform rather than revolution. Broad coalition of democratic parties is preferable. Change popularity of conservative socialism. Okay, we are going to exclude the communists. Currently, they're okay. I don't know all these parties. Party Radical. They're the liberals. Federation Republic, far-right leagues. Yeah, there were a bunch of communists, so they're holding 16%. Agrarianism, social democracy. Now there is and the people often misuse terms, and terms do mean different things. The same term means different things in different countries. That's quite true as well. But social democracy is, generally speaking, wanting a democratic, generally capitalist economy with a lot of social welfare programs, as opposed to socialists want a lot of state ownership of the means of production, but not, generally speaking, going as far as full communism. So there's a little where liberal is, market economies with minimum social welfare programs, shall we say, and conservatives there. Okay, so we're going to go with a broad coalition of democratic parties. Bring this back. No, not the. No. Bring this back. Okay, so they're down at 14%. Okay, so they've all pumped up a little bit. Another spy we can recruit. Good. The linguist. Let's get him. So, Arno, or anybody else in chat, do we want to try to put diplomatic pressure on the Netherlands, on Denmark, on Czechoslovakia, on Poland, to try to outflank Germany, to shore up our northern flank? What do you guys think? Well, intel on Italy since Germany has backed down. Use the Dutch. I don't know that we need intel on Mussolini, because that isn't going to happen without Germany. I think we'll go with our Dutchman here and decide to apply diplomatic pressure in the Netherlands. Okay. So they're up there. Here we're just down by 1 in tungsten here. Now we're slowly catching up on production. Popular Front wins the election. The Popular Front is the winner of the legislative election and gets the majority of the parliament. The alliance of left-wing movements, including the French Communist Party, the French section of Workers' International, and the Radical and Socialist parties, announce the formation of a government headed by CFO leader Léon Blum. The French hope that Blum's government will implement social reforms to put an end to the current political crisis. Okay, do we trust the election was free and fair? I don't know. Okay, so now we have Léon Blum. Communist Party are there. Okay, we're at the 15, 26. Okay, improved aircraft, nice. Okay, well, we could do a medium bomber. So all this is giving us is looking at aircraft. We can't do the Martin because yeah, we could, I guess. This isn't the Martin. Why did I looks like a Martin bomber, I guess. Maybe I was just because it's in that line. Carrier. Well, that's way too far in advance. Well, I guess we might as well do that. Roughly on this. Well, let's see which one. Okay, we can change this. Yeah, but that is right now it's more than a year away, and we might as well wait. Because you're absolutely right, Arno. I don't even really know much about these, but you're right about going here. But because we want to unlock some of these others, but it's just I think too early to do that. But what we can do here is let's look at fighter production here. I'm allowing some of the. I guess because I want some numbers on some of this equipment more than I want better equipment. Do we not have fighter production? Oh, we don't. It doesn't look like. Oh, here we go. Yeah, here we go. There, we're gonna do that. That's what we're definitely gonna do. Get a little better. There, we can see our plans to get some of the ships done a bit sooner are working. Hey, Eat Boy, how you doing? Decrease unemployment in basic machine tools. Very nice. Well, this would be nice, but we are already well below instability, so I wish, well, there may be events that are going to increase stability. Naval construction. Yeah, I think we need to play the political game right now a little more. But another national research center would be lovely. So we'll do that. Hopefully it'll be getting us good research. Now, yeah, I think we'll do that just because we're too close for bombing. I'm doing good. Well, we have some divisions down here, some colonial sort of militia type units, I'm planning on leaving here because I don't figure they're going to be very good. They're not even very well equipped. But might be enough to sort of hold the Italians. I haven't really looked
Gardez vos rangs.
very far afield, but yeah. Japan claims hegemony in East Asia. Oh, there probably is a focus, but we'll look at that in just a second. The Mitigation Agreement. After the election of the Popular Front, a massively general strike of the working class breaks out, initiated in Le Havre, accompanied by factory occupations to prevent lockouts, and had quickly spread to all of France. More than 1 million workers were on strike. The socialist movement immediately followed the electoral victory of the Popular Front to reach its position of force. The new left-wing government, headed by Leon Blum, negotiated with success social agreements signed at the Hotel Mitigation. I don't know how to pronounce these French words. All the workers benefited from these agreements, which are legit right to strike, paid vacation, 40-hour work week paid 48, work week paid 48, and the removal of all obstacles to union organizations. It will be significantly slow production. Okay. Well, slower production, not necessarily what we wanted to have. Okay, so it looks like everything we need to have is in production, but not necessarily in good numbers. Recon equipment, motorcycles. I think we're going to just go with increasing the number of fighters in production here. So I think that air war may be critical. And focus for better fighters. Well, let's look over here at expand our air bases. So air bases, modernization program, which will give a little better research for fighter models, interwar experience, air doctrine, nice. Reorganize, yeah, buy American bombers. Not terribly great, and there's, yeah, I mean, get a little bonuses, but nothing pushing very hard on it. Well, I think we're going to end the episode here. Again, not the live stream, but the episode. Thank you to all who've made it this far. Please like, share, subscribe. I really mean, you don't know how much it helps. It also just really helps to comment below, say hi. If you don't know what else, if you can, I mean, literally just say hi, or if you don't think I know where you're from, tell me where you're from, or tell me again where you're from, because I do sort of remember, but I like to know where the viewers that are actually paying attention are from. Helps me very much. So thanks all. See you next time for even more Hearts of Iron.